Are you gonna try and do
Okay, I just came to check on this video just to see where the trade was at. I'm about to go for a run. I think that this move will probably happen here in the next little bit. So we'll see where Bitcoin's at, where Sol's at when I get back. I've narrated this whole trade for everyone because I do believe that if I can narrate and teach something once, then people can use it at scale for eternity, right? I can have it on our website in perpetuity. So this is a great lesson. There's a lot of thoughts in here. Again, in some cases, there's no right or wrong. Nobody would have been wrong to take profits at $1,100, 80% profit on this trade. I may not be wrong not taking profits based on what I believe to be occurring and looking for my profit at 1778 today, as I stated from the beginning. So we'll see where it goes. My video was on pause and then it finished. So I guess this will be a 3-part video, and I'm just going to go for a run and we'll see where this lands here in the next little bit. As soon as I'm done, success. Success would be if it hits my take profit zone that I mentioned from the beginning. Failure for me, but still overall accomplishes the goal of teaching a lesson, would be if it retraces and I need to pull out, at a negligible profit, $250 or something like that. Because like I said, it doesn't make any sense, even on an exhibition trade, to lose money on it, let it retrace into the negative. You might as well pull a respectable profit. But I think we could be on our way back down to the happy side of my trade, where we maybe get that expansion that I'm looking for. And like I said, I just apparently had to start the video over. Maybe Loom ran out of bandwidth, like they only allow videos to run so long. So with that being said, I'm going to let this run. I'm going to pause it so we have the time lapse on here. I will continue to finish out this trade sequence. We'll see if it doesn't go all the way, go the distance as we were looking for from the beginning. And I want people to understand that when it comes to subscribing to DIIO, the intent is for it to be an investment to create capital. If it's an expense, then you're not doing it right? It wouldn't be worth it if it were an expense. So the point of making these videos for subscribers too, and would-be subscribers, is to simply show that with great data, if I can create 70%, 100% in a day, then so can you. And if you can create $1,000 or multiple thousands of dollars in a day, then $2,000 a month subscription for DIIO service is not an expense. It's no different than a business investment, provided that you have the ability to trade, which, as I mentioned, consists of not just data, but psychology, education behind how to use the data, emotional management, and some of these things, right? The ability to assess quickly on your toes, ideally have a strong technology. I have 3 monitors, have all the things you need so you can be successful. And in that scenario, DIIO as a service is 100% an investment that yields a return, not an expense. If it's an expense, then it wouldn't be worth it. Nobody should be paying for the algos to lose, right? To not be participating in upside. That's not to say it will come easy. That's not to say that being, that successful won't have a learning curve. Some people take months. I think most people take months to get it. But we talk about business. We talk about startups and how a lot of businesses are not profitable for a few months, for 6 months. Some big businesses are not profitable for 2 years. The bigger your portfolio, the more important it is you have data. The more you want to be involved in this space, the more important it is that you have great data that's easily interpretable with minimal decision-making fatigue. That's what this service does, and that is the purpose of the group, and that's what I want to bring to people. And right now, these exhibition trades are just kind of showing you, if I can take $1,400 and turn it into another $1,400 in 7 hours, then even somebody who's not that great at it but understands it can do much better over a period of 30 days, right? And if you have more than $1,400, you can trade much more conservatively and create, a significant amount beyond this. Again, assuming that you're trading multiple days throughout the month. This is literally an attempt at creating $1,700 with only $1,391 in the organic capital position at risk in literally 7 hours, 8 hours, right? So if I can do that, it's just evidence that the ability to multiply capital exists, right? So that's what I'm here proving. And I like I said, I'm more interested in seeing the trade come to fruition so that people can see how precise it is when you have great data. All right, so I'll pause it and then we'll let this time lapse out. We'll see where it's at when I come back from my run, and we will go from there. Hopefully we get a good trade out of it. I'm accepting of reality, whatever it may be, whether we win or lose. All right, we'll see where we end up. Okay, so we are back. I did time lapse this video. I wanted to just kind of, start fresh. Again, my other loom had stopped, which is fine. It's kind of gone longer than expected, but that's okay. It was, as I mentioned, more important to me to get this price action right, get this technical analysis right, make the points that I wanted to make, and get the predictive analysis right, with an emphasis on the fact that all of this is based on statistics, probabilities, not certainty. However, if you watch this video sequence from the beginning, you'll see the asymmetry behind the two trades we had, and then you'll see the original thesis for where this started, what the goal was, and hopefully here in the next little bit where the take profit will take place, right? With the goal of approximately, goal of approximately 128%. I think I had it at 107%, but I definitely think we could make it down to the 158 mark. Just might take a bit longer. So I will probably continue to time lapse this. I might set a stop loss. I might set a stop loss and just leave my take profit there, see what happens in the morning, just because the trade has gone a bit longer than expected. It's hard to get the timing, right. You're lucky if you get the price action right. You're lucky if you get the degree, right. Like how intense does the price action get? Getting price action right from 180, 181 down to 158 is pretty incredible intraday, when there are really no major signs of a move to what I would consider, just the general population of traders, speculators, investors. So to nail direction, intensity, target, all accurately is pretty amazing in itself. It would have probably been too much to ask for this to all to have taken place by 9 p.m. It did not. I went for a run. Took a little bit longer to create the gain than I expected. That's okay. My additional comment that I would make would be, on a normal day, if I wasn't doing this specifically for the purposes of exhibition, just to show people what's possible with all of the different types of predictions that we attempt to make, and the degree of accuracy that we're able to get, I can tell you that right now, without a doubt, I would just go ahead and probably put a trailing stop on it. And I would also put I would leave my take profit, right there, and I would call it a day. However, I thought it'd be really powerful to have all of it on video, and so within reason, I'm gonna wait a little bit longer. I will time lapse this back, and we'll see if we can't hit roughly 160, 158, somewhere in there. If we fly down to 158, that would be great. We'll call it a successful trade. We'll call it very, very successful predictive analysis work, technical analysis work. We would have nailed direction. We would have nailed intensity. We would have nailed the target. We would have nailed everything short of time, because in my mind, I saw this transpiring by about 9 p.m. and it has taken a bit longer. So I wanted to, take the time to make this video, and I'll probably just let this happen one way or another, because I think this will have permanence on our site and within our training. It'll give people an idea of what's possible when you have the data, the education, the knowledge, the experience, and the emotional management all unified to get the results that you're looking for. And hopefully it serves to just simply prove that TA, does pretty amazing things. That this could not have been an accident or luck or et cetera, right? A part of this just had to be based on great data, skill, emotional management, and so forth and so on, conviction, and also kind of protected with a degree of risk mitigation from the beginning, but also risk mitigation that we collapse in our favor over time, right? So like right now, I will absolutely protect this trade if I end up going to bed and just kind of finalizing this. I think I've already proven my point on how accurate we can get to create 100% ROI in a day. It's pretty awesome skill set to have, and that is, in summary, the goal that I have for this is to have this for people to understand just how powerful this data is in the right hands with the right psychology. So I don't think this will take much longer. Like I said, my goal initially was 107%. I think now, just based on nothing but the DIIO algo pressure lines, I think 158 and some change is totally possible. So I may move it up to 159 even to make the target a little easier to hit, just because it's getting late for me. I'll probably sleep in tomorrow. This was the outcome that I was seeking for anybody that I end up sharing this with. And again, it will go in our training as well, just as a case study, so that people can walk through a fully narrated trade. This could have been done with 10 times the capital position. It would have yielded $13,000 inside of just a few hours, from about 2 p.m. to about midnight Central Standard Time. But in this case, just for exhibition purposes, I think 1,400 is a great number to show people what's possible with a very reasonable amount of capital that I think is palatable for the median of users that we might have, right? People that might be interested in trading with us. And it just gives you an idea of how easy it is to cover the subscription if you end up deciding to be a member as well. So a lot of different things that I wanted to show here, I wanted to prove here, and I wanted to narrate so that people can kind of see what it's like to, in this case, I didn't even actually talk about it because it just happened recently. But I think it's powerful for people to have an idea of, let's take a look at, I'm going to show you guys the 5-minute. There it is. Right, so I wanted to show just how volatile it got. We did climb back to 176, so we had a bout of up pressure, and whoever was in this trade, had to be willing to hold through a backtrack or a retrace down to about $350, right? I even myself, just for the purposes of protection and to not backtrack completely into negative, even though I really highly value showing people the outcome of the thesis from beginning to end, I too, if I got to the point where I was at like $250, I would have just went ahead and closed out the trade, because that would invalidate my thesis enough for me to to have to do that, and just to go ahead and protect profits, right? Go back to the cardinal rule. You could look at that one of two ways. You could look at it like you lost $800 or $900 because your account once had that unrealized value, or you could choose to look at it like you still made $250 or $300 versus the balance that you woke up with, right? Again, this is just general trader thoughts, that go through, I'm sure, the minds of most people. So for me, I tend to stay optimistic in that regard. I'm not going to let a perceived loss that's not even really technically a loss bother me. But I think showing it on the screen gives people an idea of what it's like to be in a trade, watch it retrace, and then you get to decide, would you be willing to, or would it make sense for you to deal with that retrace? Would you have the conviction to stay in it? Would it make sense, right? Some people would. I did. I chose to. I could have actually probably successfully entered this trade twice by now and already been at, $1,800. But I really wanted to see this one go from beginning to end. And we'll kind of see where it goes from here. Looks like down pressure may be subsiding, and we'll have to take on another round of down pressure. So we'll see how this finishes out. But I think I've already kind of proved my point, that we literally got to the 100% gain mark. I have I would say a pretty good degree of confidence that we'll make it to that 158, 159 mark overnight. I believe that will probably be highly likely. It will not surprise me if this up pressure comes in. We need this breather. I would say, the Seoul market is going to clear out a lot of the high leverage shorts that just came in. They're trapped. They will probably get wiped out because they came in just a bit too late during this intense down pressure that we've recently seen. And then the market, when it's done removing the liquidity from those shorts, it will probably come back down to that 158 mark, more than likely overnight. So if I do call it a night, I think this does relatively well cover the thesis from beginning to end with 100% ROI in one day. We stayed in the trade despite volatility. It didn't shake us out because we had good data. And all in all, I'll just decide whether or not I'm going to close this out. And it only has to do with the time here and the fact that I'll probably, get up and start anew tomorrow. And I do consider this trade overall very well executed and very much a success. So this will be a great documentary to have in group, regardless of where I choose to take profits at this point. When your new low on your take profit is, somewhere in the range of the 80% area, you did pretty good. And not to say that it couldn't climb higher. I just am probably not going to stay awake to watch it. And I feel like for the purposes of exhibition, I've already proved my point. I think anybody who's watching this got a lot out of it. It won't serve me much to stay up all night to see it gain, the extra $500 or $600. So I'll let those chips fall where they may, and I think this video was a great success in just showing, what's possible, where it went, how to create 83% ROI, 100% ROI, possibly even by the time I wake up, 100 and, what did I say? 120, 120 and some change. 128% ROI, right? Potentially by the time I wake up. So probably do that. I will conclude this video segment at a total of 1 hour, 51 minutes on the prior video and 20 minutes on this video. A lot of psychology, a lot of volatility, a lot of getting to know your own emotions through my trading exhibition that I kind of just shared with you guys. So I hope you find it valuable. I hope you see how the numbers move with a 10x leverage trade with about 1,400 in capital. Your mind can probably start to conceive what it would look like to be in this same trade with $5,000 of capital in it. What your stop loss would maybe need to look like. What kind of downside would you be open to living with? Just all those questions. What kind of retrace would you be willing to deal with? Where would you take profits? Where would you set your stop loss in the case of a retrace? I don't expect most people to have extreme conviction on a trade going from beginning to end exactly like they plan. And I would say if that does happen, I think it'll on average be with more experienced traders who've been doing it for a while, people who have been using algos for a while, that have a lot of the nuances mastered. So again, we'll see where this one goes, but I think I will conclude the video. If this doesn't happen within the next 20 minutes or so, then this will be the end. If I happen to be awake to catch it, for whatever reason, I will go ahead and add it in. But otherwise, this will conclude the video. We'll wrap it up. As you can see, 86% gain. Reasonably certain that I will lock in the 2x. And this is all simply trading SOL, perpetuals, derivatives, futures contracts, shorting it at a 10x leverage, which again, I don't necessarily recommend for everyone, but I think as you get better at this game, as you get more skilled in interpreting the data and understanding what's going on with breakout bars, the confluence monitor, the movement monitor, the volatility monitor, all these different DIIO algorithms, I think that my end goal outcome is to simply teach people to do this, even if not at this extreme level, at a level that they can create wealth over time for themselves, knowing that, again, everything is based on statistical probability, not certainty. There are no guaranteed wins, but if I can make only 2 exhibition trades today, and one of them loses $36, and the other one creates a gain of, let's just say it is $1,700, which I think if I was awake, that's exactly the number that I would hit. I think that kind of proves the point that this is, a valuable skill set, a valuable data set, a valuable psychology, and I think it's very, very powerful to have and understand, to whatever degree possible, your own emotions, because your own emotions and your relationship with money have everything to do with your ability to find success in here. If you are too attached to money, then unfortunately this probably won't be a good game for you, because it takes disassociation from money to a degree. You have to look at the money in your bank account and in your real life, and for your bills and for your wealth and life insurance policy and real estate assets and whatever you have as real money. And in this space, when it comes to trading specifically, I believe you have to look at trading capital as points. Very important to not lose points and to gain points, but you cannot, it's difficult to play this game if every time numbers fluctuate, you're allowing your brain to associate that dollar amount with what you could have bought or what you lost, right? at certain levels, I lost a steak dinner and a night out worth of, crypto. I should have just had the night out. I should have enjoyed the nice dinner with my family. At another level, oh my God, I lost the equivalent of a nice vacation. I could have went to Miami, hung out with my friends, had a great time, for a week. Unfortunately, I lost, right? If you tie that to a loss, it's going to be even more painful. It's going to be more challenging. You'll have more regret associated to that loss. And that emotion of regret will be tied to and anchored to trading, right? And we can't have that and be successful. And then lastly, you get to the level where you lost a car. I lost a car in one trade. I have lost a car in one trade over a weekend, right? I learned valuable lesson. Now I use stop losses pretty religiously. If I don't have a stop loss in place, I will be right at the computer with my finger on the trigger and a very keen awareness of what's going on with the pressures in all the different time frames, down to the pressures in really, really small time frames. And if I'm playing something extremely volatile, like some of these bonk tokens, SHIB, Doge, just anything that I expect to be very, very volatile. Pepe, that's a good example. BOEM, most recently, I believe it's called. Those kinds of projects I will go in with a stop loss, just to make sure that price action doesn't fly so fast that my manual stop loss of me clicking the buttons is too slow, and I lose more money than I plan. So if the project is extremely volatile, I'll do something like that. But as you can see, we're approaching that 100% mark. I'm going to stay up a bit longer. If I unpause it, if I pause it and unpause it to show the end result, it would literally just be for a few seconds. I think chances are that I will be asleep. So I'm going to set a trailing stop up here, where I walk away with a clean $1,000 or so. And that's my worst case scenario. And we go from there. And just while I'm on it, just to show everybody what that looks like, I might go to, look at one of my volatility clouds, more than likely, right? So I might look at something where I'm thinking price action, should ideally stay below, but I don't want it to be too liberal, because I'd rather just pocket the 1,000 than anything else happen. Any other worst case scenario happen. So what I probably do is look at some time frame like the 24-minute, see if I can find a reasonable place to park a stop, and just to show you, I may not leave it here, we'll see what I'm going to do, but just to kind of show you what it looks like, I would take a number like 167, let's just say, and I would change this to rate. I confirm that. I do retrace of about 1%. It's usually pretty comfortable. It's 1% from where I'm at right now. It knows the direction of my trade. It knows I'm in a short, so it's going to protect my short to that degree. And then what it does is it just places this trigger here. And in a worst case scenario, if I lose, I'm going to walk away with like $1,000 because, again, it happens to be midnight and I'm just not going to stay awake much longer for this. And if I'm successful and the price action goes, down here, then it would give me my 1778. So that'll wrap up how I'm going to end this so that everybody understands. I'm going to decide where I'm actually going to put my stop, but I did want people to see how it works. And when it comes to take profit zones, stop losses, trailing stops, you can actually just drag and drop them. So if I want to be less greedy and I want to take my trade sooner, when it hits 1350 again, which is about what it was here, about 1400 I believe, I can set my trade there, right? Had that happened the last time price action was there, I would have just walked away with a clean 1466, which is 106% profit, which was my original goal. I do believe we'll probably drop to that 158, but I think that in itself, shows that the thesis came to fruition. So I'll decide where I'm going to take profits, but it'll probably be somewhere between 107 and 128%. We'll call it a night, and I might even do staggered profits because you can do that. So just for instance, I can go here, I can go partial position. I want to take, 75%, let's just say, yeah, 75%. And then I can choose, this number down here at 162.4. Right, so I may choose 162, let's just say something like that, and then I can make that a limit order, right? And so it'll make that a limit order, and I can confirm that. Let me see, last traded price, order price. Well, I'll mess with this later. I'm kind of half asleep. But point being, I can set a partial take profit down here. I don't know if I'll do that or if I'll just take the whole profit. But we'll see what happens here in the next little bit. I think for the purpose of exhibition, though, we're in good shape and everything came to fruition. For the most part, exactly as planned, starting at 2 p.m. today, which we did get lucky, but that's why I emphasize it's statistical probability, not certainty. I'm not ever guaranteeing a result, even my own. I wish I could, but I can guarantee that I do get the statistics to work in my favor heavily. I would say just very powerful in the way that they show up in the form of results and outcomes. So I did this in screenshots yesterday. Today I just wanted to do a video, and I appreciate you guys watching. All right, so be on the lookout for the next exhibition trade, and we'll see if this video has one final segment or not. We will find out here shortly, but this may be the end. So thanks for watching.